All right, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week, presented by Papa John's. I've been trying to scuff down some food. Presented by Papa John's. Thanks those guys for feeding us every night, man. It's nice.
Yeah, and they were here before you got here tonight.
I know. I could smell it in the elevator when I come up. Got to thank our marketing partners, Langley Speedway, for allowing us to do the show here. Performance Plus Motor Oil. It's been working pretty good in the race car the last couple of weeks. We keep it in at Courthouse Imports. Safety Clean, they give us plenty of things to clean our hands. Brake Clean, it's a good sponsor, Jack.
For you, yeah. I don't get nothing out of the deal.
Well, you're on the short end of the stick.
I know.
Factory canopies. See, we got these nice chairs. These
These are
you
very
can get you some for the race trip. We don't let Jack sit on them, but
Jack likes his chair, doesn't he?
yeah.
Well, no,
That's fine.
what Jack does is he lets the guest have the seat.
Okay.
MPM Marketing, if you need some help with your social media, some do's and don'ts, they're good people. Tanya is a good person to talk to. She'll help you out. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, they supply some drinks. Bando Brothers Distillery, you don't know nothing about that yet?
No.
And hopefully you won't for a while.
Yeah. Black Acid Apparel, if you need some T-shirts, you need one shirt done for your team, or 5, 10, 100. Just don't get in a rush. they'll get you taken care of. GAC, Great American Company. Virginia 811, VA 811, and North Carolina 811. Proud to have two same sponsors in two different states. Blackwater Station Grill. And that's it. And then on to the news, Jack.
All right, well, we'll start with the
Don't
news.
mind me. I'm over here eating Papa John's.
Are you gonna spill it on your pants like last time?
Oh, good, bad. That was bad.
All right, the news is brought to you by Smith's Wraps and Graphics. And we're doing the Smith's Wraps and Graphics Racing Roundup from the weekend. Not a whole lot of racing this past weekend. First of all, the Cup winner was Kyle Larson. I think he's the only one that was racing.
Has anybody got anybody else for the championship besides
You
Kyle
can't-
Larson?
Chase is my driver, but I think Larson's got it.
I think Chase is. I think he's a little, from what I'm hearing from some of the people,
He's a little perturbed.
he's getting a little perturbed with the fact that he doesn't feel he's getting the same stuff that Kyle Larson's getting every week in and week out. So
I tell you what, you got to think about what's the crew chief?
Alan Gustafson.
No,
Cliff Daniels.
Cliff. I mean, you got to think about Cliff. He goes from 7-time champ to Kyle Larson, and those two guys have in their first year, this guy's got 10 races this year. It's crazy.
Hey, Cliff used to race Bandos.
Mm-hmm. Cliff raced here. He's from Yorktown, not Yorktown, Smithfield.
So I think Kyle Larson is. He's definitely in the Final Four. So
For sure.
but anything can happen there. But
Yeah. But I'll say on the Chase Elliott deal, I think the whole Kevin Harvick thing is a little bit of a distraction at this point. He's got plenty of points, but anything can happen at Martinsville.
But I noticed the other day on the race, when he gets around Kevin Harvick now, there's a little bit of room.
You think?
He's given a little bit more room than he was to start with. And I think he knows.
I got a little, I'd say a bone, but I don't like NASCAR getting involved. I think they should just let the guys handle it. But I think I take a little bit with is that Mr. Hendrick gets involved and is like, NASCAR needs to do something about this. And then NASCAR is involved, and then you're going to make T-shirts, and then you're going to paint your car up like Earnhardt. I think you're just asking for it at that point. I think I just stuff him just out of spite at that point. Consequences or no consequences.
Yeah. In the Xfinity Series, Ty Gibbs got another win. Imagine what he's going to be like next year running the full Xfinity Series.
Yeah.
He's got a shot at the title.
And he's getting some of the best stuff that ever come out of it. So, yeah. In the ARCA race, Nick Sanchez, in his first ever ARCA race, won the race and beat Ty Gibbs.
That's pretty big.
So that was a pretty big
Where
deal
their
for him.
did their buddy run in that?
Who's that?
Rajay?
Yes, finished ninth.
Tell you what, that kid still impresses me.
At Ace Speedway this past weekend, our guest tonight, Bobby McCarty, got the win in the race there. Dustin Rumley finished second, and Connor Hall finished third. That was a pretty good deal for him to go down there and finish third.
Yeah, sit on the pole.
He got the pole in Martinsville.
Who? No.
No, not Martinsville.
Or not Martinsville.
South Boston.
Sobo, yeah.
Sobo. All right, in the modified race at Ace County or Ace Speedway, John Boy Brown got the win. So their season is completely over now. Up at Dominion Raceway, they ran a few races up there this weekend to finish up their season. In the Virginia Racers Series, Ryan Matthews got the win and the championship, which that was pretty much done before we even got there. The modifieds, Mike Rudy got the win, and Chris Humblett is the modified champion at Dominion Raceway. They had 2 late model races at Dominion this past weekend for guys who had not won races. And that is Chase Burrow and Logan Clark got the wins. Down at Dillon Speedway, Tommy Tumbleston. Say that when you can't figure it out.
Real fast.
Yeah, Tommy Tumbleston. He won the street stock race, and then he went out and won the late model race.
Dang.
So that's pretty good day for him.
It's like me and the legend of the band.
Don't forget that this coming weekend here at Langley Speedway is the Sean Beluzzo Memorial 100. I'm hearing 30-some cars are going to show up for this. We also have Jeremy Gerstner, who's going to be on the show tonight at 8 o'clock to talk about the Beluzzo race. And he's going to tell us about who's driving his second car, as if it's not an unknown secret at this point.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mm-mm.
You do know.
Does his name start with a mark and end with a words? Is it going to be?
No.
Also, want everybody to keep Aiden Zedrich. He's a Bando racer. He's got scoliosis, and he's going in for some surgery very soon. I put a thing on my Facebook about if anybody can help them out. They've got to be down there for like 2 months in wherever, New Jersey or
5
something.
weeks, New Jersey.
And so he's going to be there for a long time. And hopefully everything will he'll get everything worked out and go through his physical therapy and everything and be ready to race when the season starts. So good luck to him, and please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. All right, now we have the Scott Allen Phoenix Kimball. Who looks best in their driver's suit?
I don't see. It's not even a contest. I won.
I know.
The comments say otherwise.
So
I'm just going to announce it and then stop the show, and then
you didn't win. It wasn't even close.
what?
It wasn't even close.
Wait,
I
you
heard
did?
I got screwed. Is what people are telling me. It was a setup.
How's it a setup?
Because you said who looks better, and not whose suit looked better.
Well, I was trying to make it
It's
diplomatic.
It's implied.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, you lost. No doubt about it. You lost. So we're going to
Danny said nobody's going to take the pizza from you, Scott. And Corey said that she's at the Shepard Center and with Dave. Dave, we're thinking about you, buddy, and we hope to see you come back here soon. And can't wait for that. Can't wait to hear all the stories or all the stuff.
you just want to get on his case when he comes back.
Well, of course, that's what we do.
All right, so we're going to draw for the winner of our new T-shirt.
Scott, you want to draw it?
So you're drawing it.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, we
You got one of the shirts here?
No, I don't. Don't have it with me. But anyway, we're going to draw for the shirt.
We haven't even showed the people what the shirt looks like.
Yeah, we did. We showed them the show a couple weeks ago.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're going to do the drawing, and of course you lost, so you're not involved. You cannot pick the winner at all. You just sit over here and munch on your pizza, whatever you're doing.
Thanks, Papa John's.
And
Best.
we'll get that out. Now, also remember, we also got a thing for a T-shirt to pick who is going to win the Beluzzo race. I've got that out there too. So we'll be doing that drawing next Tuesday after the Beluso race.
Oh, who do you think's gonna win?
The Beluso race?
Mm-hmm.
McCarty's got a shot.
Or yeah.
That's my pick. But I just looked at the chat. Brandon Marshall. I wear boots to one race, and I'm cowboy. Jacob's little sister. Every time she sees me, hey, howdy, cowboy.
Oh boy.
I know. I love Brandy because she can laugh at herself.
Come on, Jacob.
Her on the stands is so hilarious.
All right, I need you to pick one out of there. Don't look.
And this doesn't mean that you like her either.
You ain't gonna believe this. Phoenix's mom won. I'm
I'm
not lying. I swear.
Oh my God.
Look, Amanda Kimball.
Is there another name in there?
Yeah.
We got 2 winners.
Amanda Kimball gets the win. So Amanda, you need to get in touch with me.
Now
and-
see, this shit's set up. I'm telling you right now, it's a setup.
How is it set up? I mean, yeah, I don't understand how you can figure that. I mean, he pulled it. I didn't do it.
Well, that's all that's in there. That's all he's gonna
I
pull.
just got the magic touch.
Well, you can go through it and analyze it.
Scott's gonna be leaving the show tonight.
I'm gonna
He'll be like, "All right,
protest.
see you, Charlie."
We'll process him after the show.
Anyway, so
Redraw.
Amanda, get in touch with me. I'll get you a shirt. I'm definitely going to get Phoenix a shirt because I just realized a few minutes ago that she went and had that photo shoot and she had a Andrew Fuller shirt on.
Yeah.
So that's got to change. I mean, that's pretty pitiful.
Marty says Colby Vance is gonna win.
He might have a shot.
Yeah. I like Randy Akers' comment. He says, let's see Jack in this. Could you
You see that? This is another story. Dayton Weiss, that's Atlee's dad.
Mhm.
His grandma makes these muffins, like homemade muffins. She brings them to the
What?
track. Yeah, they are the
I'm gonna
best
start
thing.
hanging out with
The
them.
first day she ever brought them to the track, I had 2, and that was the day I got my first win here. So they made me
So
a
that's
whole.
what I need to do.
Yeah, they made me a whole logo.
She ain't got that much time to paint them in muffins.
It's called Muffin Man Motorsports.
Dang, that's nice.
Oh, I also see that Ashley Burgess says
Chris Johnson's
Chris
going.
Johnson.
I think that's a little favoritism.
How you figure that?
I don't know. I think she likes
All
the
right.
guy or something.
Dave Adams. Hello, Dave. Hadn't seen you and talked to you in a while. So, just message back and forth. I know he's moved into a new house.
Again? Damn, Dave.
Every now and then you just got to pick up your sticks and go somewhere else. Anyway, all right, we got Trey with us today. So how's everything going with you? And are you glad the season's over? And
It's better to get away from some of the stress, but racing is kind of like my family out here. I come out here, love hanging out with all my friends, pretty much my family, but it's good to have an off season and not be racing every weekend. We did 50 races this year. We did 15 last year.
50 races this year?
50, because I did the summer shootout. I did every race here, Dominion, went down to the Winter
I
Nationals.
forgot you did this. I forgot you did the summer shootout.
Yeah,
Right,
I was trying to forget it.
It was that good, huh?
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah. So great. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Phoenix had a hard time down there with that summer shootout.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think she'll ever go back again.
I don't think I will either. Dad's like, want to take the Legend down there? I said, nope.
Yeah, so you're moving up to Legends this year, so that's a big deal
Yes,
for you.
sir. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, lucky to get the opportunity to drive the car. Already been in a few races this year and just having fun. It's a lot more fun than the Bando, but it teaches you a lot as well.
So you're gonna be running all over top of Jacob, Derek, and all them out there?
Mm-mm.
Huh? I mean, you gotta get out there and run with them.
I tried.
I mean, look at the competition level is really high now.
Everyone's so close. That's the
yeah.
competition.
Tommy Jackson Jr.,
Oh, yeah. The
Spencer
Legends.
Saunders, Jacob, Derek,
Charlie, he's been good this
Charlie
year.
Bill, and now we got Trey Lee.
Yeah.
Man,
Way down the list. This Trey Williams.
man.
So how did you get inspired to get into racing? You can say it was me.
Yeah, it was all Scott Allen, met him at arena racing, and skyrocketed.
It was just
you know?
up from there, huh?
Yeah, my whole family, well, not really my whole family, but my dad and my grandfather, they've been huge race fans. I mean, my grandfather's been going to races since he was my age, but I got interested in the sport. First ever race I ever went to was actually an arena race in Richmond. Of course, my hero Scott Allen was there. So
Goddamn, this is gonna cost me.
You're done. You go on.
But we went to the race. I actually enjoyed it. I was 7 years old at the time. I had been going, local fun go-kart tracks like Thunderbolt, G-Force, and I was doing all right there. And then we started going to more races, and it ended up where I was going every Sunday to those go-kart tracks, and I was showing improvement. Like I was in the kid karts, I was running faster times than some of the adults. And my dad can correct me on this if I'm not, but I know some guy come up to us, and this is what he can correct me on. I think it was someone from a Porsche team, like a Porsche racing team, come up to my dad. I was like 8 or 9, running fast laps, and he goes, "So what does your boy race? Like, what car is he?" And he goes, "Oh, this is it. This is what he races." And he's like, "You got to put him in the car." But we tried to convince Mom to put me in an arena car, but she didn't like the idea of me being in the car. So we said, "You know what? Come on to a race. We'll see what happens." 3 cars had flipped that entire season. 5 cars flipped in the first race, and I'm like, "Well,"
That's out.
She's like, "I'm out." But I mean,
And that was an arena racing.
that was an arena race.
Scott Allen was racing.
Yeah, my hero. He was racing.
Dude, you ain't never coming back on the show. But no, I mean, that's probably the reason why there was 5 people flipped over.
Damn, it was
Well,
like
they
a
got in the
curve.
way.
It was a full moon. Scott, were you in that race? What was the kid race?
No.
No, he was a long ways from that. So tell us all about this season. This was a big year for you this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I mean, expectations based on last year. My goal this year, we did a little bit of preseason testing. I knew where we were, and I'm like, my goal this year, let's go get a win. Just one win. Let's try to see if we can do it. And first, did we go to Dominion or Langley first this season? No.
She's trying not to talk.
No, it was Wake County. I remember it. My first race this season was Wake County, and that was fun. That was a new track I'd never been to. It's a fun place in Bandos because you gotta pin it wide open, and it's hard to go wide open around there. But we went there. We were all right. We come to Langley. We did good. Finished second though, and then we went to Dominion. I got my first win. I'm like, all right, well there's my goal. And we come back to Langley the next week. I got another win the very week after. We went back to Dominion a couple weeks later, and I got another win. And I'm like, this is skyrocketing. And so we've just superseded our goals, and we've had a lot of help, especially last year, learning a lot. But, I mean, this year we've tried to help other people out, because we felt like if we got help last year when we were rookies this season, I feel like because the front runners were helping us a lot last year, so we're like, why don't we go help them out?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean,
Did the Rally Music help you out a lot?
Yeah, last year, the Phil Warren especially. I mean, they set our car up at Dominion in the middle of 2 practices, and that was the most amount of laps I led in one race ever. At that time, I led 7 laps and then got passed on the outside. But, I mean, yeah, the Phil Warren, Raleigh Music, Thomas Painter, Ricky Derrick, all of them, they helped us a lot, especially in our rookie season. And, just blessed to have a lot of help because it's not an easy sport to get into and be good at.
No.
But 3 championships and 6 wins in the Bando and 1 win in the Legend just felt awesome.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You just got it going on. You just a big wheel man.
I try to be. A little step by step, try to get better every day.
That's pretty cool. Now, who all helps you with your car?
This year or last year?
Well, all you do, but this year mostly.
This year, we got over the off season, we met Tristan McKee and Lane McKee, who y'all see him. He's the 10-year-old that can race a late model.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, but he introduced us to their Bando motor guy, and he rebuilt our motors. That helps out a ton. The car that I ran all of this year, that car got tore up in my 3rd race. Somebody thought they were clear and came down, and we hit the wall. Just a racing deal.
Somebody?
Do
we need to know who that somebody was?
I don't want to put their name out there. I don't want to.
Okay. I was going to see if we can start something.
I'm innocent. But yeah, Cobble Speed Shop Trevor, he's the one who did the motors. And then the car itself, Roddy Bolt. Well, first, when the car first got repaired, y'all know Lee Harrison and Leighton Harrison, they really put the car back together. And especially also helping Mike Walney putting the front clips and whatnot and the rear clip on. And then we tried that car a couple weeks after they finally fixed it. And we took it out here, and it was a half second off. We're like, huh. So we took the other car out that I'd been running all year, and it was right on par.
Huh.
So we're like, huh, that's weird. And we kept testing that car every week and consistently half second off everywhere we went. So we're like, all right. So we bring it. You guys ever heard of Cameron Baldwin?
Mm-hmm.
Legend driver? Yeah, him and his grandfather, and even Cameron's dad helped us out a lot. They took the car. He actually built my car. The car I ran this year is 25 years old.
Mhm.
Roddy Bolin, Cameron Bolin, and Brad Bolin. They took the car, and we found out that the front clip was actually like bent. So that was our secret, and they ended up finally fixing it. And you've seen it. I mean, the car was first practice we ever came out here, and it was 2 times faster than the old car.
Nice.
So we're like, all right. So I mean, we've gotten a lot of help, like I said, from. And then this year, me, my dad, my grandfather, we work on the car in the shop.
Okay.
We obviously, with the help that and all the stuff we learned last season, we took it over this season. That's what's helped us out a lot this season, at least. But I mean, it's pretty much it. Got motors from Trevor, setups from Roddy, Cameron, and even the musics, like the setup I run here. A lot of it we've learned from Phil Warren. So, yeah, proud.
So have we sold the Bando yet?
No, but we've got people looking at the Bando. So we got to fix
Is it hard to get rid of it?
Mentally or money wise?
Well, I know money wise. I know what the deal is with that.
Yeah, hey, anyone listening, if y'all are interested in the Bando, you can go to my social media, my parents, my team's social media. Just give us a call or anything like that if y'all want to buy it. Good car.
What made you want to go to a Legends?
So we realized in the first year, we were just hoping to just ride around, learn, hopefully finish on the lead lap every race. And this year we superseded those goals, and Dad was like, all right, you know what, maybe let's just do one more year in the Bandos just so you can get a little bit more experience, and then we'll go to something else. Our 2 options were a Virginia Racer, which is Ryan Matthews, what they race up at Dominion, or Legend. And we talked to a lot of people because we know people in the racing world, and we're trying to figure out prices and whatnot. And we end up, really my dad, my grandfather, my parents, and they figured out, Virginia Racer, that's a little bit on the pricey side. And the Legend, we'd also heard from a lot of people, Virginia Racer, it'll teach you a little bit, but a Legend, you can ask anyone, and I can tell you probably from personal experience now, everyone will tell you that is the hardest car to drive.
You definitely can learn a lot of car control.
Oh, yeah. You got to deal with wheel spin, small tires that aren't meant for a race car. But we figured out it was financially and driver ability, I guess you'd say, better. So we ended up being like, you know what, let's go with the Legends. But just blessed to be in the position I am with the Legend. Lucky where I am.
And the driver ability, look what all you've done this year. Driver ability's there.
Well, we try to improve.
Even though you're sitting here saying Scott Allen's your idol, that scares me. But
oh yeah,
first time I see you,
14.
First time I see you turn around the track and go backwards on the track like he did.
Oh yeah,
I've
seen everyone do that. I had to.
I'm talking about this was during the race.
It wasn't during the race. It was on the caution.
You turned around and went backwards.
I was mad at somebody.
Hey, racing is
I'm
racing.
telling you,
And
I was
emotions
there.
get high.
Were you there? You weren't there.
Yeah, I was there that night. Yeah.
When was this?
I was sitting in your box that night.
Hmm.
Didn't stay around long because I was afraid we was going to have to fight. But he got mad at the guy who was going to win the championship.
He didn't win.
And
This guy.
Scott told
Add
him.
that.
Scott told him he wasn't going to win the championship. So when Scott got turned around, he just didn't straighten it back up. He just went back the other way and met him coming around the turn and boom, clobbered him.
Really?
That was the end of his day and Scott's too.
That's your car and his car.
Scott
It was the
didn't
last
care.
race of the season.
Scott didn't care. Got out of the car, walked up, jumped over the side, and was gone.
Oh yeah, Tony Stewart style.
Wasn't one of my proudest moments, but then
Oh,
in some ways it was. And I can't let people push you around.
No, don't ever wrestle for you.
Not that he was pushing me around. He was just an asshole.
He kept telling Scott he was using the back end of his car to stop his.
Push him up the track a little bit.
Well, he spun me out, and then all I could see was red after that. That's why I was backwards.
I can relate
And I
to
was
that.
like, okay, all right. Well, I got your number. Your championship is done.
Anyway,
He lost. Actually, he tied and lost by wins.
Really?
Yeah, to Travis Wall.
so how did you celebrate after your last race and everything? Got everything squared away. How'd you celebrate?
The Langley? I just kind of hung out with family a little bit, hung out with friends. I was shocked. I did not think we were going to win that race because our plan, with the way the car count worked out, we just had to finish 7th. Well, that would have been either way. But so when our plan going into the race, we had talked to people and we were like, hey, we're just going to ride and we ain't touching no one. So we tried to do that. And then the caution come out with 3 to go, something like that. And I saw Runstrom go way to the bottom, and he got to the side, and they were battling back and forth, and they were hitting about every 10 feet. And I come on the radio with 2 to go, exact words, Dad, they're going to wreck. I'm telling you, they're going to wreck. And he goes, all right, well, then, back off a little bit, because I started running down. He said, back off a little bit. We'll see what happens here. And I saw tire smoke coming out, too, and I said, oh, my God. No way. And as soon as I got out of 4,
You knew it was yours.
I was like, oh my, thank you. But
Now, what was your parents? How do you think they were acting?
oh my mom
Mine was
said the
nervous
same
wreck.
sentence 20 times in one day. Who saw that coming? But my
So-
dad was just shocked. He was like, oh, go around him.
Does he spot for you?
Yes, my dad spots for me.
How's that work out?
Yeah.
How's that work out for you?
Moving on.
That's-
He's a good spotter. He's a good crew chief. He's a good spotter. He's a good mentor. That's what I take away from it. Dad and my grandfather, they're my 2 mentors. They taught me about everything I know. Because what my dad and my
that was a
grandfather,
good bailout right there.
Feels good.
what my dad and my grandfather teach me is, I'll quote my dad. I won't say what he really said. But something he said to me one time, and this is exactly how I describe him. I'm not here to blow sunshine up your behind. If I get out, I could have broke the track record by a half a second. I'll get out of the car. Man, you still look way too low coming out of 4. He just always is teaching me, and it's how I learn, and it's how I've, I guess, learned to deal with things, and it's how you get better. If you get out of the car and you're just getting told every time, "Oh, you're doing good," yeah, it'll make you feel better. But what if you're not really making much improvement?
Right.
So I feel like they've taught me.
Work.
They
Work,
taught me a
work.
work ethic. I work on my own car with them. I try not to be that kid that, okay, we're unloaded, let me go talk to my friends now. Now I do that, but what I do with my dad is we'll work on the car, and when everything's done, I say, "Are we good? This thing ready to go?" Yep. All right. That's when I go and talk to
Now,
people.
do you have to keep certain grades or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you get C minus, it's not the happiest person you'll ever see.
C minus.
Yeah.
Hell, I'd have never raced.
No, if you get lower than a C minus, all right.
That's what he's saying. We'd have never raced.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's real quick,
Randy Akers says he did that before.
all right, let's get Mr. Goodyear on here for just a few minutes before Shane comes on, and he's got some stuff he wants to announce about his race down there this weekend or next weekend, whenever it is.
I guess Shane.
So
I guess Shane will be back.
Yeah, Shane will be back in a minute. So,
All right, what's up, Mr. Goodyear? How you doing?
hey,
Turn your mic on.
turn your mic on. We can't hear you.
All right. I think I got it figured out now. I was trying to get on earlier. I was like, I don't know what's going on with this thing, but you sent me a message, so we got it figured out now. So, anyways, thanks for having me on. How are y'all doing? I'm Anthony Goodyear, owner and operator of Goodyear All American Speedway.
Hey, I can't wait to come down and see it. I just haven't had a chance this year, but I hear you got a big one coming up. So tell us all about that.
Yeah, we got some big races coming up. Since last time we talked back in July in our season opener. So we've had, the season opener turned out real good, and we've had several good races since then, and the fan base has been pretty good, and so that's been working out real good. We had last week was our day of destruction, and we had some really cool races going on there. Some fun stuff, no stress kind of racing, just like backwards racing. We did a demolition derby, and we had a little enduro, and we did a powder puff, and the powder puff was real cool, and we've been doing the spectator racing after all the races at the end of the night. And then, I live in a military town, and the track's right there. So all the guys in the military is coming out, and, they got their hot rod cars, and they get to run in the spectator race. So that's usually drawing about 12 guys come out there and do that. And, we got the biggest news that we got going on right now. And so November 13th and 14th, we got the Goodyear All-American Battle of the Stars coming on, and that's going to be a big race, and some big guns are coming out there. And just want to say thanks to Kurt Ipot and his wife Lynette. They jumped on board. We've been talking to them, and they coming up to help us sponsor with that race there. And there's just a whole lot going on. And next year, we got Cars Tour coming in. That's April 23rd. So we got them on the schedule. We're lucky enough to get them. And so Jack McNally, we appreciate everything he does for the community and the racing. And so we're proud to be part of that.
Well, good. I'm glad to see things are beginning to really come in good for you down there, especially when you get the Cars Tour and everything coming in. That's a good deal.
Yeah, we're really happy about that. We got a lot of work to do on preparation to get done for next year. And, we're working with Chris Williams and trying to see if we can get smart modifieds out there. And, we're also working with Keith Graham and Carolina Pro Late Models. And we just about ready to pencil them in on next year's schedule. So, with all that good stuff going on, and just, I can't be thankful enough for all the staff, and Tanya, my wife, she does such a great job in summer. And so we just keep on digging, put our nose to the grindstone, and I really want to try and make this track, one of the best tracks in North Carolina. And we got a lot to learn. We've learned a lot. So we're just real excited and keep moving forward.
So when is that race again? November what?
So the Battle of the Stars is November 13th and 14th. And that'll be a Saturday. We'll be practice, and everybody get in there and practice on Saturday. And then Sunday will be the race. And we're going to do some fun things with that race. It's going to be a 3-stage race. We're gonna do that, and it's just, we're looking for a good turnout. We got several that's pre-registered already, and I got a phone call from Barry Nelson the other day, and he talked about some details that's going on and what it's going to take to pre-register. And we talked for a little while, and thanks for him to be a part of that. And we gave him the details on what's going to go on. So on Saturday, the haulers and everybody will come in there and get set up, and they'll get 4 McCarty speed tires to practice on. They'll practice and test and tune on those tires all day. Then they'll turn them back in the impound, and then Sunday morning we'll get back out there, and they'll get their another practice session with their practice tires. Then they'll go back in the impound, and the teams will pick the best of those 4 tires and put that tire as a spare and on the wall. And then they'll be issued their 4 tires to qualify and race on. And at the end of the night, we'll get all them back in the impound. And the whole registration includes 20 gallons of fuel, transponder if they need a transponder or not, and 2 pit passes. So I'm all about trying to save the racers money and the team's money, because I know how much money it costs to do this game that we love so much. So my biggest goal is to try and make it as affordable as possible for the teams. We've been working with some hotels close and getting discounted prices, so the teams and whoever's going to go and find a hotel and you stay in the hotel while they're down for this event, we can be helping them get some discounted prices. So just call to the office and talk to Summer, and she can tell you, the promo code's going to be All-American All-Star Race. And just try to, keep the cost down for racing, because we all know how much it costs to go to racing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So what kind of divisions are you going to have racing down there?
So on that day, we're going to have, obviously, the late model stocks, and we'll be running NASCAR rules for late model stocks, and that's the big race. And then there'll be a couple other small divisions in there. I think Legends are on there, U-Cars, and a couple other divisions like that. On November 6th, we're actually going to have the prelude to the Battle of the Stars. That's actually a rain out date. So I got the experience last week when we got rained out to experience all the emotions and trying to make my first rain, call. And I studied on that hard, and I decided I was going to wake up Saturday morning if it was still raining here. And I looked at the weather, and it was about 70% all day, from 2 to 7. So I just knew it was the right call. So we went ahead and called the race. So this is going to be the rain date, and that's on November 6th, and that's the prelude to the Battle of the Stars.
Well, I hope I can get down. I'd like to get down there for that race. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'd love to have you come down there. We got a lot of room. We got a lot of work that's been going on, and I just know that everybody that's come to that place and has have experience when it was Coastal Plains before we took it over and rebranded and named it. That it's come a long way, and we're just working real hard to get the track up to where it needs. I got a lot of help coming from, as you well know, Steve Britt up in Dominion, and he helped us out a lot. And we've been working with Steve Zachariah over there in Florence, trying to see if we can work together and put the Super Truck show on and have 3 tracks to where we can run 3 different races for the Super Trucks and really get them into a championship bonus points and have some money at the end of the year. And because it's hard for the Super Trucks. I own a Super Truck, so I just know how difficult it is to get them running around. So we're trying to work on that. Got some good stuff coming up next year on the schedule, as far as smart modifieds and trying to work with Keith Graham. So we ain't got it all dialed in yet. Some of that stuff will be announced, but everybody stay tuned for what Goodyear All-American Speedway's got in tour for 2022.
Well, cool. That'll be great. You keep us informed on what's going on so we can keep everybody around here informed of what's going on. I got a question here. Somebody wrote a question here. Says, do you all run bandos down there?
Well, we haven't run any bandoleros here yet. That's something that Tanya and we've been talking about. We want to run and start the bandoleros division down here at Goodyear All-American Speedway. So that's going to be a new class going on. I'm trying to figure out a little something with the mini stock class because, I feel with the front wheel drive classes and the rear wheel drive classes, I'm old school, and I just remember back in the day, the mini stocks were mini stocks, rear wheel drive, cast iron blocks, and nowadays you got to run it with them front wheel drives, and they're fuel injected, and it just I think it's a bad deal for them classes to intervene with bombers and U-Cars, and so I want to try and see if we can get something stable and help the racers stay in their class to where it's fair for everybody.
Okay, well, cool. Well, Mr. Goodyear, appreciate you coming on. We're going to turn back over here and go back to some other stuff, and we appreciate your time. And look, let us know how things are going, and maybe I'll see you down there that weekend.
All right, well, come on down. We'll have to let me know when you're coming. We'll make arrangements for you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, you. Appreciate it.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. Now, there you go. There's one more race.
There you go.
Yeah, we can make it 51 this year.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah, you can make it 51. Go down there to Goodyear and run the Legend down there.
How big is that place?
Now that's a question I can't answer. I should have asked him then. I didn't think
I know of the track.
I've never been there. I don't know.
I've been by it. I've never been there to a race, but
Gotta text Mike Walton.
Mhm.
You ever heard
I
of
know
that?
yeah. I wonder how their day of destruction was. Man, I came here this weekend. It was packed.
Aiden Millett, funny he said it. Aiden Millett put on his social media, man, there's more fans here than there are for a normal race night.
Yeah, I almost had to try to get inside the gate and park because there was nowhere to park.
Really?
I mean, it was packed. You couldn't put one person in the stands. I mean, they were full. It was crazy.
wow. That was a good turnout for that thing. I saw bits and pieces of it on they were showing live cut-ins every now and then, so I got to see part of it. But anyway, Is that wind?
Yeah.
That was creepy.
We ain't had that problem until you come up here. So anyway, I guess Shane got ticked off with us or whatever, and he ain't come back home.
Not wasting time.
Did you message him or did you?
Yeah, I messaged him.
Yeah, 'cause he come on early.
Yeah, I saw him on here when I first walked in.
Keep on talking. You know, we're gonna talk Trey into going down there for that race. There's Mom. Go where start talking.
Wow.
So is your mom competitive? Does she?
Mom, oh yeah, oh yeah, she'll be up there.
She's over there like yes.
You guys think she's competitive? Oh my god. Yes, I remember qualifying one time, or no, maybe it was a practice. She'd never been to a practice in her life, and I'm just scuffing tires coming down the front stretch, and I'm just looking around. It's like first practice, and I look up, and she was in the pits with us, and she went up there. I look up in the stands. We're scuffing tires in first practice, and she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "No, it's practice." She's acting like it's the last lap of the Daytona 500. Like, Mom, it's opening practice for a Bando.
That's funny.
I mean, do all you mothers get together and
Sit together?
I ain't gonna say sit together. I mean,
Y'all hang out any?
Well, I talked to before and after the race, but during the race, I'm not. A lot of the moms are in the pits,
Yeah.
and I'm up in the stands.
Oh, so you're like Brandy?
Yes, well, similar. I'm videotaping normally, so I'm not going as quite as.
When you're
excited.
videotaping, do you come across Brandy and see her making?
Have you seen the video? It's like somebody taking it from like the gravel in turn one, and she's doing it, and the kids like 5 rows behind her, like imitating her, and they're like, "Go!"
Oh,
Go.
no, I have all of us seen that. It's hilarious. I mean, it's good that she can.
It's confusing. She's like, "Come on!" I'm like, "What do you want him to do? Come up to the stands?" Like,
I'm glad she can laugh at herself though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she's definitely different. And I've seen her when I'm sitting up here, and I've seen her when y'all qualify.
oh god.
She will come from where. Cause normally she's back here with the band. She'll come from where the band is and stand right here beside the flag stand. And I mean,
Is she kicking the ground?
she's
there, too?
doing everything, every lap, waving, and
And then you look at Ricky on pit road, and he's just like, "Well, missed turn one."
Goodyear is 0.4 miles
Point
from
four.
my husband.
oh,
Okay, so it's about the same size as this then.
I just seen this in the comments from Heather Zedrick, that's Aiden's mom. Something I was gonna add earlier is I feel really bad for Aiden. That is the nicest kid. I think I was here for his first ever day here at Langley. Nicest kid. I tried to help. I've been one of his good friends trying to help him because he's been in some crashes, like bad crashes that weren't even his fault, that have kind of spooked him from tracks.
Mhm.
And I've had to try to talk to him and be like, "Hey, it's just a crash." I'm like, the one thing I told him, he was like, "That was awful." I looked at him, I said, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you hurt?" I said, "Yeah." "You got a broken leg?" "No." I'm like, "Well, then you're good." I said, "The cars are safe. You're good." I said, "I know you can conquer this. I mean, you'll get back out there." And he did. This year, he went back to the track, Dominion Raceway,
Okay,
and he was good. He was better than he was.
that's
last
good.
time.
It is
He's a good kid. That's all.
well, good.
Brandy says with her standing down there gives him some extra wind. It makes him go faster.
It ain't a lack of effort, I can promise you.
Extra horsepower.
I like I think it was I don't know if it was a TikTok or something I seen her do about burning the toast at the hotel or something.
Yes.
I think Ricky's like, "Turn the damn thing off." I was dying. That's some shit I did.
So Brandy
Like,
burnt the
like,
toast
stop
at the motel?
I think it was Ricky.
Oh,
But then who knows? Maybe she might have just blamed it on
well,
him.
next time I do a mother's show,
I had to get Brandy.
we got to get Brandy to come in here. And,
We might have to not have the chair so she can walk back and forth and stuff.
Well, I mean, she could
She can
stand.
stomp on the floor.
She could stand right here. And,
That'd be a funny contest. Who
She'd have her
can do a
fan back on.
reenactment of Brandy in the stands?
All we gotta do is.
Her daughter did a really good one. That was pretty funny.
said he set the fire alarm off. When
Okay, it was
God.
him, sure.
So the rumor going around that Brandy can't even cook toast is not true. So
I about blew up our microwave one time.
What'd you do?
Like, you
Put
know,
a tire in it, heat it up.
yeah, totally. Gotta get more staggered.
There you go.
I had like a bowl of eggs or something in the morning, and I didn't know how long to put them in the microwave. I put the timer on like 3 minutes. I come back, the whole bowl was like covered. The eggs had like exploded. It was covered in the microwave. And Mom is so picky about that. If there's a drop of water on the platform, it's like, get a paper towel, clean it up now. And I'm like, oh my God. She's going to kill me. I'm like, I'm cleaning it back up, and I hear the front door open, and I slam the thing shut. And she's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. Trying to block it. She's like, what's wrong with you? I said, nothing.
It
It was a bad situation.
She knew there was something going on.
She gave you that mom look like, what's up with you?
Brandy says she's going to get you next week. Gray wants to know what everybody thought about the next gen cars testing at Bowman Gray. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. I think Tony Stewart spun it twice. And
Got to find that limit.
so he was, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I'm still.
I can't wait to see the cars up close to see what they're all about and how they're going to adapt under these pit stops to do adjustments. Not that they do a lot of adjustments now, but I mean, sometimes they got to do a chassis adjustment. And I don't know. I mean, with the thing being coilovers,
There ain't a whole lot you can do.
you know, I don't know. That's going to be an interesting.
I know that a lot of the drivers, because I watched the videos when they were doing the Roval testing and they had the drivers doing the interviews. I know they said the bigger brakes you can drive in way deeper. The bigger tires, the independent rear suspension, pretty much the main thing they said, it can stop better and it's got more grip. They can drive it harder.
But they were having cooling issues.
It was hot inside.
Yeah, and they're still
Transmission issues.
still having some issues with all that too. So that's something they're going to have to work out pretty quickly. I mean, it's not something they can.
And there are only how many cars? 5 cars? 4 cars?
What?
They're allowed to have.
4.
Yeah, I mean, they're not allowed to have a ton of cars, which that's going to save cost big time.
And that's the 4 cars. And if you have an organization, I thought there's also a limit on how many an organization can have.
Is there?
Like that they can have, one team can have, or 4 cars, or all the teams can have 3. I don't know how that works out. But the organization will make a difference on that too. Well, I guess Bobby McCarty decided he ain't going. Let me get on with Bobby McCarty.
You got Bobby McCarty's number?
I got Bobby McCarty's number.
Where he is right now is where I want to be in 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
Jack wants to be in your shoes.
No, Jack's happy right where he's at. Thank you anyway. And Scott, you was in past that time, so you might as well get happy too.
He's got
I'm just
he's got a
having
new
fun.
suit. That's 2 more years. That's like
right.
a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
No, they'll wear out fast because he sleeps in it.
You sleep in your suit too?
Well, when I first got it.
You don't shower in yours?
That's his onesie when he goes to bed.
Now, did you have any siblings, any brothers or sisters?
I've got 2 older sisters and a brother-in-law.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
None of them wanted to get into racing, or?
Oh, no. Mm-mm. I got a nephew, though. He's 3 years old. My oldest sister's son, Jackson, he says 3 words in his lifetime. Trey race cars. You want to go see Trey? We'll have a guest over. You want to go see Trey's race cars? Let me show you what a Trey race car is. He'll bring his little plastic toolbox over. It's got like, the plastic tools you can snap with your hands.
Mhm.
And he'll just go over to a tire and be like, watch this. And he'll be like on the valve stem with the wrench going like, and he's like, you see this? Work.
So
That's
you're.
what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to teach him how to change a gear on a Bando because it's the easiest thing to do. And I said, pull this trigger. And it was the tiny little impact. It's funny. His favorite thing in the world is to cut grass with my grandfather. Well, the Bando is a lawnmower engine.
Mhm.
If I say, all right, I'm going to start the Bando, he'll run a mile away from the garage and plug his ears. But so that little impact, it's on there tight. So it does a little like, brrr, and then it comes off. As soon as he pulled that trigger, I never seen him run so fast in my life. He bolted out of the garage and ran like halfway into the field. But he's a hoot to be around. He's fun.
So then, you guys work on fix the car yourself?
Yeah, because most of the stuff, Bandos, unless you take a serious hit, most of the stuff is pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Spindle. Spindle, usually, you can always tell if you need a new spindle because that the tire rod, it'll be pushing into the tire, and you can see it's like got a circle where the Hoosiers printed out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just 2 bolts. The bolt that runs through the 2 Hmiels and the A-frame, or that connect to the A-frame. You take those out. Take the bolt that connects to the steering, the tire rod out. You can replace that. Most parts on a Bando are easy to replace.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mike's given us tips about them. Obviously, the people I've already mentioned, Musics, Derek's, and the painters, they've all helped us. We changed 6 motors, well, the 3 motors, but we changed them 6 times in a matter of like 2 months, going from summer shootout to Florida, back to Virginia tracks, back to the shootout. And first time we were trying to take a motor out, I said, I can hook up the wire, the wiring to the battery. I said, I can do this. I'm good. So we hooked up like 2 wires, and I said, all right, I'm going to plug the main power in. I didn't even get the thing clicked on all the way, and all you see is smoke start coming up the wiring harness. I panicked. I said, I ain't doing it. And Dad's like, God. And he unplugs it, and he's like, what in the? And I'm like, I thought I was right. That looked like he went there. He said, well, it didn't. He goes, you still think that? And I'm like, no.
So do you have to go out and work on your own car a lot?
Yes, sir. Every night. Well, during the race season, it wasn't as much in the last 2 weeks because with Dominion, the last 2 races at Dominion and even here, 2 straight Dominion races and then 2 straight at Langley. So after the first Dominion race, we didn't touch the car. We just left it. But other than that, I mean, every night we get to the shop at pretty much. We let Dad get home. We'd eat dinner for a minute and then go over to the shop till about 9:30 every night, and do the same thing the next day. And I have I guess obligations. Go over after I get home from school. Go over, vacuum the cars, clean the inside, clean the motor, plug the tenders onto the cars if you need to. If we're going to a new track, not a new track, but if we're switching the car from Dominion to Langley, I got to change the gear, the shocks, the springs, and the tires. Got a different stagger and whatnot. So I'd go over, I'd change the gear myself, the springs, do all that by myself. And then when Dad gets home, and later in my career, I would start doing the tow of the car, check the brakes, make sure they're working good, just kind of preventative maintenance, and then getting the car ready for the next week. That was pretty much it. But I mean, Dad, he works his butt off every day. He gets home, he works all day for my grandfather and himself and my grandparents. He gets home, he never gets time to rest except for Sundays, which is our chill day. Mom will walk in my room, and it's like 12. I normally wake up at like 6 o'clock. She'll walk in my room 12 o'clock on Sundays. And she's like, Trey, you got to do chores. This is my rest day. I'll tell her to leave me alone, but
That don't work for you, does it?
what, the rest day?
Yeah.
Oh, they worked for about 2 weeks.
Well, that's what she's gonna make sure you do like you're supposed to.
Oh yeah.
Now, are you involved in the setup stuff, or do you
Do I make decisions on setups?
Well, are you involved in the decision making and knowing why they're changing this and why they're changing that?
Yeah, over time I've learned more because Dad used to tell me before I ever got in the car when we first bought him. He used to be so set on, I want you to be watching videos, I want you to be reading articles, learn everything about this car. I want you to be able to tell me how to do everything on this. Well, I didn't listen to any of that.
Really?
A little bit.
That's a shocker.
But yeah, no, it's insane, right? No, but I've learned over time how to make decisions. Like when I first got into Bando, that car could be plowing tight. Man, I'm loose as heck. Rear end is out of the ground, but I feel like I can now get out of the car. I'll help in air pressure. You never really, unless you're at like a lifting track, like here, you never change air pressure. It's the same air pressure all year. But I know, you put a stiffer spring like here. You put a stiffer spring in the car, especially in the Legend, it's not going to turn. You put a softer spring in the front, it's going to turn better. But hey, you got your buddy here.
All right, here's Jeremy Gerstner. Let's get him on here.
What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight?
We're
Good,
doing
man.
good. And I tell you what, I was so happy to hear you were coming down for the Baloozo race. I mean, I'm glad you were able to do it.
Yeah, we were actually I think we were racing at Hickory for our final points night for that Smart Tour series I run, and I joked with Terry Baloozo earlier that day because she goes, so I guess you're not going to make it, huh? I said nope. I said I'll make you a deal. I said, if this deal gets rained out, if Sean really wants me to race this race, he'll be raining it out for me, and I'll be heading that way in a couple weeks.
And it worked. It worked.
Hey, Sean was up there. I was doing a rain dance, and Sean was up there making it happen. So things work in mysterious ways. So it was all good.
Well, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear it. And I understand. Some people say they don't know about it, but I think it's a known fact that you're going to bring 2 cars down for this race.
Yeah, basically, me and Mark Wirtz were going back and forth, and he asked me if I had a car I could rent him. Well, when I wasn't going to make it originally, I was going to rent him. Not really rent him, just let him drive my car. Well, then basically it got down to the wire, and I was like, I got so much to do to my car to get it done because I already took the motor apart. And see, our rules in Florida versus the rules up there is different distributor, different carburetor, steel head motor versus aluminum head motor. So I had already changed a lot of that stuff out to get it, for Speed Weeks for next year for February. So I had already switched a bunch of stuff. So I was like, it's just too much aggravation, too much work, to be able to, and then have to get the car to you, Mark. I said, I really don't want to do a lease deal. Well, basically, if I can't make it, then that's it. That's it. Well, then whenever this deal got rained out, I said, I got the old, car sitting in the corner. We nicknamed the Hummer, which is my car. I won over 150, 160 wins in it in Florida here. And, I've owned it since 2003. I built it. It's a left-hander. And I got 2 championships, one at Ocala and one at Citrus. And I told him, I said, it's sitting in a corner with no motor in it. All it needs is a motor. It's got the tranny, the rear end, the dry shaft, headers. Basically, you put a motor in it, and I'll bring it up there, and you can run it. So he said, wow, that'd be awesome. So I sent him pictures of it, and he's like, cool. It's a blue car. It looks awesome. And honestly, the car is. If I had a motor for it, I would have brought that car rather than, running a new one I got. The main reason I'm running a new one is it's already wrapped like it was last year with the Sean, Beluso tribute. It's got the mouse on it all over it. And basically it's already had the steelhead 406 motor in it that I built for last year. So I went and put that back in it, and that's what I brought. But what we did last week when I went to Ace to pick up my rear, I had to go to North Carolina to pick my rear end up for my smart car that we're going to be running at the North-South Shootout. I brought my Florida car up, and I met Keith Wheeler, which I guess they nicknamed him Turtle because that's so he actually works on my crew with me. I brought the car up there in my little short enclosed trailer, my 26-footer, and he hooked up to it and he brought it to Mark. So they're already all over it, putting a motor in it last night and trying to get it scaled out for Mark's liking, and basically put his setup on it, how he won with last year. So, I just couldn't see a guy that won last year, the first inaugural race, and a good friend of Sean. And he's like, me and Sean, he's a hustler. He, does tree work, works 2 different jobs, and, he's always hustling to go racing. So I figured I couldn't see him not have an opportunity to be able to run this deal.
Yeah, I agree, because we had him on the show the night they unveiled the trophy, and he was here, and I made the comment of, it's kind of hard to believe he's not going to go back and try to run this race because this race meant so much to him.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like we made him talk. First, our main objective is to go do this race to support the Beluso family and to be there for Sean. I mean, he's up there smiling right now. I know he is ear to ear, knowing that he's got guys like Brad Adams that helped him throughout the deal. He's got TJ, he's got myself, he's got Mark. I mean, all the guys that were great friends with him. That are going to be there in the support of the race and to chase that trophy. And you're right. When I seen that trophy. The first one was really cool too, but unfortunately I saved my tires the whole damn race to get down to 20 to go. And then on the restart, that Ferreira kid, I guess his dry shaft come out and it got stuck in my radiator and wedged between my suspension. And we came to pit road. And, so basically I had 4 brand new tires ready to challenge for the win, worked myself in the top 10 and just rode there the whole night. And then we came to pit road, got the dry shaft out and went to go green. And David, Sean's son, said, "You're not going to believe this." They were counting cautions the whole time we were working on this. He's telling me, "Take your time. Let's get this thing back right. Let's make sure it's 100% so you can go out there and go from the rear to the front and win this damn thing." So we were doing that. Well, we got the dry shaft all out. And then that's when Gene, Nichols, he come across the radio and said, "You're not going to believe this. They were counting cautions. You're 3 laps down. There's no reason to even go back out." So I was like so pissed last year that because of that. I didn't know they were counting cautions. I guess I didn't pay attention good enough in the driver's meeting, and they were counting the last 20. cautions where the first 80 they weren't counting. So I'm hoping I can get up there and vote on the driver's meeting that we don't count no cautions. They make it 100 lap green flag, and that's it. No matter what happens, let everybody have a chance to be able to win the race.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. So I can't wait for the race on Saturday. I know it's going to be a big one, and I know everybody. I think they said they had like 30.
Yeah, I think they got
guys coming here.
I think they had like 33 originally, and then I think a couple guys couldn't make it. But with me and Mark entered, I think it makes it like 30 or 31 cars. Which I mean, I know all the years I've talked with Sean and going back and forth. That's the reason he wanted to promote this race and make it bigger and better. I mean, and like I say, last year our goal was me and him to run both of it together, and then he was going to take that blue car that Mark's going to run. And we were going to put one of Gene's motors or another guy that built all his motors all these years. We were going to put a bad boy motor together, and we were going to go to Speed Weeks. And literally, he was going to drive that car, and I was going to play with my tour stuff. And we were going to have a blast. But, it didn't work out that way. Of course, we all know, and now this race is a memorial race. So here we are, going back and how what a tribute is now. Basically, Mark Wirtz is going to drive the car that he was going to drive of mine at Speed Weeks with his motor in it at his race. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think Mark knows that track so well. I mean, I actually figured it out about lap 30 last year, and I had a really good hot rod. And like I say, I got taken out with that dry shaft. But I mean, I'm looking forward going back with the same car. Brad Adams has been running there all year, and he got the setup a little bit better. So I got his setup under my car right now, and I can't wait to get there. And I was hoping to be able to practice Friday, but now it's like an 80% chance of rain. And unfortunately I got to run my business until Thursday, and we're going to skedaddle out as soon as the kids get out of school, because they're not allowed to really miss school anymore. It ain't like us when we were kids. We could all miss 5-6 days and make it up when we get back. Now, hell, you miss 4 days, they want to hold them back a year. So I gotta let them go to school Thursday until that, and then we're going to haul butt up there and be up there for Friday for practice if we get it. If we don't, we'll just we got 3 practice sessions on Saturday. I think I'll be able to figure it out, and we'll be right where we need to be. I mean, and that the other thing is that pole trophy is really cool too, that they got, that they made of Sean. So I would love to try to go for that. I mean, I know Matt got it last year, and I can tell you right now, if I get the pole or if I get second, if I can get the front row challenge, in honor of Sean. I know it's gonna be difficult with that many cars, but I don't give a crap. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go to the end.
I was going to ask that.
And and I'm gonna ask any of my friends or guys that have a hair on their ass to go to the rear and do it for Sean. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that Sean would do it no matter what. I mean, it's gonna be difficult with 30 cars, but if they do it, like I say, if they do it 100 green flag laps, we're gonna have cautions. It's gonna bunch us back up, and I don't see why you couldn't do it. I mean, if you got the car that could win, there's no reason why you can't do it from the back.
Well, Jeremy, I appreciate you spending a little few minutes with us tonight, because I know you got a lot going on, getting ready to come up here. And thanks a lot for being with us. Good luck to you this weekend, and hopefully you'll be able to take that trophy home with you.
I hope I can bring that trophy back to Florida and then get back on the show and tell you about how the whole night played out and everything. So that'd be great.
We'll do that. I'll call you after next week, and we'll talk to you about it.
Awesome.
No matter what happens.
Yep. Either way. Yep. You're right. Well, hey guys, thanks for having me. It's always great to be on your show, and I love the idea. You're promoting the hell out of it, and I hope we get a great turnout for Sean and for the family and for Bill over there at Langley.
Well, I hope so too. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
buddy. See you, Jeremy.
Take care, guys. All right, bye.
All right, let's bring Bobby McCarty on here, Mr. Superstar, Mr. I done won everything in the world down the road here, the Cars Tour champion. Won the race this past weekend at A Speedway, the Rodney Cook race. How much other stuff have you done that I didn't even know about?
Can you hear us, Bobby?
Hello? You keep turning sideways on us, Bobby. Is you drunk or is you... Bobby? Hello, Bobby. He's back again.
Okay, well, let's turn that one off. What's up, Bobby? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. You got me.
Did you hear my great opening I gave you?
Yeah, I did. It's the second time I've tried to do a video chat, and one of the guys I raced against called as soon as I start the video chat. So we're 2-0 on that right now.
No, I mean, now here you are, Cars Tour champion. You won the race this weekend at Ace, the Rodney Cook race. How much other stuff have you done this year, man? You've been winning this and having a good time all year long, haven't you?
Yeah, so we've had a really good year. We won the 150 lapper Cars Tour race at Hickory. We won the July 4th race at South Boston, the Triple Crown. We won Motor Mile with the Cars Tour. Then we won the season finale at South Boston with the Cars Tour, and won the championship, and then won Ace, and we won the Flag Day race at Ace early this year too. So we've had a pretty strong year, man. We've been blessed for sure.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and you have always had the best looking cars. Every time I see your car at a race, you have the best looking car around. I really like the colors and everything on your car.
Yeah, so that's credit to everybody at the shop. You know, DJ, Cessna, Timothy, Barry, all those guys. They put in a lot of work, and I'm rough on that old girl. I leave donut marks on it about every weekend we run it, but you know, they make sure they bring it back every weekend like we never raced it, and you know, they do a really good job with keeping the car up. So that's a good shout out for them. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they do, and of course I'm kind of partial to that 22 number. That's what I used to race too. So
He put it in victory lane though, Jack.
No, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, hey, tell us a little bit about racing for Nelson Motorsports. I mean, y'all guys have a great organization over there.
Yeah, so you know, shop space right outside of Martinsville. It's been a blast, man. You know, I wasn't the racer I was when I joined the team. You know, Barry kind of called me a bull in a china shop, and saving tires wasn't a thing to me. When the green flag dropped, we was going. But you know, Timothy and Triplet and Barry and all those guys, they calmed me down. Learned a lot about saving tires, and that's probably the problem I got now with qualifying is I do everything I can not to fly the tires, even in qualifying. So probably hurts me a little bit sometimes. I feel like the car should qualify better than it normally does. But you know, it's a well-rounded team. They put a lot of time and effort into the cars, and you know, they've turned me into a driver that I never thought I would be. So really thankful for them and everything they do for me, and the stuff they've taught me through the years. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at now if it wasn't for those guys.
Now, is the Nelson shop on 220 hitting north out of Martinsville?
Yep, it's right off 220. So you go like you're going to Martinsville, and then you fork off like you're going to Roanoke, and it's right there on the left. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Because I've been by there several times. I seen the hall out there, but there was nobody there every time I went by. So I'm gonna have to stop someday when you're down there.
Yeah. So if you want to see me down there, you're gonna have to hope that we're working late one night. My parents run a mechanic shop in Greensboro, and I work there Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and you know, we're short staffed just about like everybody else in this country right now, and you know, it's really hard for me to take off work to get up there. But every night that they do work late, I'm there. So like Ace, we went and tested on Wednesday, and the engine was making just a little too much smoke out the tailpipe than we liked, and we felt really good about the car, and we just didn't want to risk it. So we went back Wednesday night and put a different motor in. We thought the motor would be fine. Like I said, we just didn't want to risk it. So we went back, and it was the first time in a while I was actually able to go to the shop and work with them. And you know, it's always fun working with those guys. We have a ton of fun and a lot of laughs, and it's just a good time, man.
So what all have you got left for the rest of the season? Are you going to be doing any more racing the rest of the season?
So right now, the only race I know of is the Florence race on November 19th, you know, the 400 deal. But talked a little bit about the Goodyear All-American race. But that's pretty much it. We really haven't talked much about anything else. So we'll see, man. You know, our stuff's running really good, and as a driver, you know, you want to go to every racetrack you possibly can when your stuff's good. So I'm trying to talk them into some more stuff, but you know, we'll just see how it goes. Right, like I said, right now we're just looking at Florence, and you know, all the guys need a break. We've been going for about 7 weekends straight now, so good to have a break. You know, the guys definitely earned it. You know, and we'll take a couple weeks off. We'll go to Florence with not just me driving, but Timothy will be there driving too, and we'll see if we can get us a 1-2 finish at a racetrack that we haven't done terrible at, but you know, we want to do better. So we're putting a lot of time and effort into this race specifically because you know we want to win at that track, so we want to do everything we can.
Well, I think you've done a great job this year. How about next year? Have you got things lined up for next year? What you going to be doing?
So Barry and I actually haven't talked about it, but you know, I'm sure we'll be running the cars for again. Looked at a couple other things, you know, a couple of super races and stuff. I just haven't really put much into that yet. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I know I'll be back with the team again next year, and you know, we haven't really talked about what we're doing, if we're going to try to defend the title again, or if we're going to, you know, try something else. But I feel pretty confident we're going to be back with the car store. It's just hard to bet against anything other than the car store right now with the late model stock. Just the payout's really good. Jack and those guys run a really good series, and it's really fair. And you leave and you don't have any questions. So, you know, for us, you know, the car store makes perfect sense to run, especially with the late model stock cars. So, I definitely feel we'll be back for the car store next year, and possibly the Triple Crown races. We'll just see how it goes. We haven't really set nothing in stone yet, but we'll figure everything out in the off season.
Well, cool. I'm glad you're going to be coming back. I mean, there's nothing better than the Cars Tour. The Cars Tour is a great late model series, and I think you know, a lot of guys really shine in that light.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a really good touring series. We go to a lot of cool racetracks, and you know, I mean, even then, you know, the payout's so good, and I mean, you can finish fifth and make more money than you would running a local series, you know. So it's for us, like I said, it makes a ton of sense, and just everything that Kirk Oppach's been doing, you know, with Solid Right Carriers. I mean, he's done a ton for short track racing, and you know, he's on a lot of cars, and he's helped out with purses throughout the year, and you know, just me personally, he's done a lot for me too. So, you know, I think everybody should, especially in the car store, need to take a second and thank Kurt for everything he's done for the whole series as a whole. And he's one of the coolest guys you ever meet, man. He's always at the racetrack. He always shows up at some point and just walk around having a good time. And, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, everybody wants to go win, but, you know, if you're not having fun, then, you know, that makes the whole weekend tough. So, like I said, definitely just want to thank Kurt for everything he does for the tour, and everybody at the car store, Jack and all these guys. They run a great show, and you know, we're all really thankful to have somewhere like that to race at.
Yeah, that's a good point on Kurt, because I mean, we had him on the show, I don't know if it was earlier this year or last year, and he had talked about where some Xfinity guys had reached out to him, and he's like, you know, I don't want to do that. I want to help the local guys, the smaller guys, try to get there, and I gained a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, Kirk is he's really cool, man. He's interesting, you know. And he's told me the same thing. He's had opportunities to you know, get on trucks and everything else, and he just told me straight up, you know, that's not where my heart is. You know, my heart's with all you guys that essentially do this for fun, and you know, he's always told me these weekends just feel so much more laid back. It don't feel like, you know, he's at some formal dinner or something crazy. It's just, you know, a bunch of guys that love racing, and we get to go to do these cool races, you know, with the car store, and go to all these different places, and you know, we have a really good time. You know, like I said, Kirk's done so much for me, so obviously I'm biased, but you know, you look at just all the cars that he sponsors, and like I said, the stuff he does with the car store itself. You know, he plays a really big part in short track racing, especially with the car store. So you know, we're all very grateful for him and everything he's doing for everybody, and you know, everybody loves seeing him at the racetrack. You know, he's like a superstar walking down through there. Everybody loves talking to him, and him and his wife both, they always come by, and you know, generally we're cooking something on the grill. My dad is, so we always have good food over there, and Kurt normally stops by and gets a little something to eat. But No, it's good times, man. I'm really blessed to be doing this racing deal with the people that I'm doing it with. You know, my family, my Nelson Motorsports family. We're really close. We do a lot of stuff together outside of the racetrack, and you know, and then with Kurt, you know, him and I hang out pretty regularly too. So it's really cool to be able to go win races like we are, and just, you know, have a good time the way we're doing it. It's a blessing, man. It's really cool.
So, but is there a race that you haven't won that's like on the list that you really want to win?
So the only thing really left is Martinsville, and I want to win it really, really bad. You know, it's obviously anybody running late wants to win Martinsville, but you know, it's so tough to win, and you know, that deal is it's really turned into potluck. You know, and I think it needs to be a little bit more organized as well. You know, there was some stuff that went on this past race that I wasn't too fond about. But, you know, everybody ran the same race, and you know, somebody won it. So you know, we just need to do better as a team. But go ahead.
So you saw the same things I did when I was there. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that you know, going on that, you know, organization wise could have been a whole lot better.
He's pleading the
Yeah,
fifth.
I mean, you know, it's really tough to do, and you know, everybody can Monday quarterback and talk about the race and what should have been done, or you know, how it should have been ran. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you have 85 cars show up, it's really hard to really fathom what you got to do to make that work. And I know those guys try hard, but you know, when we're in the drivers' meeting, you tell us the race is going to be run one way, and you run it that way for 75% of the race, and the last 50 laps you change it. You know, that's, to me, there's no excuse for that, regardless of car count. But I mean, like I said, I couldn't imagine trying to run a race with 85 cars, even though it's a half-mile racetrack. That's a lot of cars, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of moving stuff. But, you know, I think there were some things that happened this year that could have been handled better. And I talked to, you know, a couple of the guys in charge, and hopefully next year they'll do better. But, you know, that's really just the race has gotten away from me, you know, about every way possible. We've lost brakes. We've had a flywheel break. We had a ground wire not letting the alternator charge and cost us a shot at it. I mean, I've lost about every possible way you can lose it. And that one's just that one's the one for me. You know, we've always brought fast race cars there and just haven't been able to seal the deal. And I want that one bad. We'll just see what's in the cards for next year. I don't know exactly what we're planning on doing, but
Maybe
you know,
next
we'll see how it goes. But, you know, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, man, that's the one that's just always kind of find its way to get away from us. You know, no matter how hard we try or how careful we are, something always just seems to go wrong. And you know, nobody's doing it. It's just bad luck. You know, and I hate saying that because I particularly don't believe in stuff like that. You know, things are going to happen, you know, regardless of how prepared you are. But that's the one. You know, maybe one day I'll get it. We'll see.
Yeah, it's in your cards. You'll get it someday down the road. You'll get it. Just wait on time. Maybe they'll have one race you'll go and they'll have all the tires you need.
Yeah, hopefully it don't take 10 years.
You're ready to go. I didn't say that out loud. You didn't hear me say that.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, tires. No, you're fine. The tires, to me, you know, everybody made a big fuss about it, but you know, it's Martinsville, man. We're not running Myrtle Beach. You know, in my opinion, there's no reason why we can't run the whole 200 laps on the same set of tires. Especially the concrete, you're not in the corners that long. It's not an abrasive racetrack by no means. Concrete doesn't wear tires at all. So I mean, everybody, you know, kind of let that run the show a little bit, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we didn't have to buy 6 sets of tires just to try to make sure we qualified good. You know, everybody was on the same boat, and I was okay with the tires. I didn't really see a problem there. I really think, in all honesty, there should be a cap on how many sets of tires we can buy a weekend. You know, there's a lot of teams that buy 4 or 5 sets, and that's fine. You know, you do whatever floats your boat, but You know, we're running for the most part 120, 130 lap races. You know, there's no need to be buying 4 sets of tires a weekend. And even Martinsville, it's a 200 lap race. I think if you run on 1 set and you wouldn't have a problem, and really wouldn't need 2 sets really for the whole weekend, a set to mock up on in practice and a set to race on. Yeah, that's just my opinion. You know what they say about opinions, everybody's different. But that's my 2 cents on it.
Well, I agree with you. But I saw a whole lot of tire things going on down there that weekend. It kind of made me think of different things about how things were handled. But that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get your opinion on it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I enjoy conversations. Like I said, it's just that whole deal is just really tough. You know, you're trying to limit everything and manage everybody and police everybody, and you know, with that many cars, you're not going to get it perfect every time. And
That's right.
You know, like I said, hopefully next year will be better. You know, hopefully we get out of this tire shortage deal. I'm still kind of, I don't necessarily understand. I mean, I know what's going on, but I don't know why it's going on. You know, and I'm sure a lot of people are asking the same question: is why are we having a shortage on tires right now? But you know, just like I said, from my standpoint, you know, nobody's ever really thought of this happening before, and now it has. But then you look back at, and I've seen plenty of teams in the car store do it. They go to the tire field and they buy 4 or 5 sets of tires for a racetrack that don't wear tires out. You know, if you put a cap on it and just keep your inventory full, you know, it'll help prevent. It won't stop it. You know, obviously, if something like this happens, you're not going to stop it from causing any problems, but it would definitely help. You know.
That's right. I agree with you. All right, Bobby, we appreciate you being with us tonight, man. Thanks a lot. Congratulations on all the wins and championship and everything. I mean, you know, I've been talking about having you on the show, and everybody's talking. He don't want everything. He might not want to come on your little old show.
Come on now. I thank y'all for having me, man. I watch every night. I always watch when you have Mark Works on, man. He's definitely one of those guys in the sport that, you know, been around for a while. Everybody listens. You know, I've always looked up to Mark, and I've told him this numerous times. I mean, he's just, if you're a young racer, I don't care what you're racing, and you want somebody to look up to and learn a lot of stuff from, you need to watch Mark Works, because he does a really good job at everything he does. And what's he pushing, like 113 wins now in late models?
A whole bunch.
Something like that.
I thought you were talking about his age.
It's really high. No, I didn't say that. But nah, I mean, like I said, you know, when I first started running late models, Mark's always been the guy that would just come up and kind of just offer advice, you know, whether I asked or not. And it's always meant a lot to me. And I think the world of Mark. And you know, like I said, every time he's on the show, I always tune in just to hear what he has to say, because he's been doing it for so long, and he has really good ideas on how things should be run. And he's like the mayor. To me, is what I call him. He's the mayor of late model stock racing. But
for sure, we're lucky to have
like I said, he's a good guy, man. He's a really cool guy. I like hearing him talk about his ideas on racing and where it should be. I mean, he's seen a lot. So, you know, if the powers that be wanted to listen to anybody about late model stock racing, and give that guy a call, I'm sure he can straighten a lot of stuff out. But thank y'all for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. I've always enjoyed the show, and maybe we go win Florence. You can have me back on again. We'll see how
We're going to do it. We're going to do it, man. We'll get you back and talk to you again real soon.
All right,
okay?
man.
See you, Bob. Thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
Did you learn anything? No.
Did
not
you
really.
think he could get on the Dale Jr. download?
Yeah. Hey, he had Josh Berry on there. Now, granted, that's the boy. That's your
Ain't-
car. That's your.
Ain't Bobby the one that Dale had the problem with?
Yeah, Barry at a Speedway. I watched that dude down there.
I don't know if Bobby's allowed on that show.
He might not get.
I don't think he'll get an invitation on that.
Where he,
He put him on blast there one time.
where he is now is what I want to try to be, like I told Scott, in like 4 to 5 years. Car store. If I can't make it to anywhere else, car store would be the dream.
Well,
It's
come
a
on,
nice.
man, get the car together.
And that's expensive.
Well,
I can only.
You got a
I
pen,
can only
Jack?
mow
Let
so
me
many
just write a
lawns.
check.
I can only mow so many lawns. Like,
you'd have to mow 2 or 3 cities to be going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fact.
Yeah, have to mow Central Park 20 times a day.
All right, that's our show for tonight. Want to thank Trey for being here. And Trey, I'm sorry, man. I owe you a apology.
Hey, it's all good.
I will get that thing to you. I walked right out of the house and
It's
didn't
all right.
get it, so
Yeah.
I will bring it to you. We'll get.
What's that?
He had a plaque
Damn,
too.
Jack.
Well, I had something going on today, and I was in two different directions when I started this way. So
Good help's hard to find. You got anybody else you got to thank?
Oh yeah, well,
Mike Watney.
yeah. Thank you. Why do I always
Your
hear
mom and
He
dad.
Mike
helped
Watney.
you win that race.
Yeah, the legend stuff. Mike Watney's the one who sets up the cars. I haven't done much on the legend, if anything at all, on the legend cars. He's the like I said in the interview. He's the genius behind the legend cars. I know Atlee Weiss, he had a list, so I'm trying to memorize it. I want to thank sponsors.
Atlee's got his act together.
I was waiting for him to just be like, well, let me see here. But,
Yeah.
Ray Williams Custom Homes, Mid-South, Southern Select, Ask Childhood Cancer Foundation, Humphrey Electric, Jerry's Car. Mom, I know. Adams Heating and Air, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, all the series sponsors for. I said George. No, I didn't. George Mason Mortgage, all the series sponsors for Legend Cars. Thank my parents, my family. Thank all the fans for always coming out here. Anybody who supported me over the decade and the couple of years. Thank y'all for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I've been wanting to get on here for a while, so
You got an open invitation anytime.
Oh, gotcha. That'd be nice. Or thank Jack for you and Scott for you for being my childhood hero, obviously, and you for being you, because you. Yeah.
That didn't make up for none of what you just started. So did you enjoy being on the show tonight?
I did.
All
I
right,
really
last
did.
time.
And last things goes to the good Lord helping us put all this together this year. So thank you to everyone.
Hey, somebody said you ought to try to drive Scott Allen's car.
Let's
All right,
not
all
get
right,
carried away.
Might have to wear the suit with it.
No, you don't want to wear a suit.
We're about. No, you're probably a little bit taller than me. How
You
tall are
do.
you?
Yeah, 5'11".
5'7". Dadgummit.
Yeah, that's close.
I mean, hey, that ain't.
We just, this is probably not something you would want to be in too much.
Those Pro 6s look fun. They
I'm
look
talking about
like
his suit. I ain't talking about.
they look like they're. You ever want to get in the Legend? We'll do a driver's
A little
swap.
swap.
Yeah, it'll be
No,
fun.
don't do that either.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna plan on driving that Legend for a while, don't put in there.
That's the one.
Scott has a problem with pedals.
Which one? The loud one is the one I like the most. The one on the right. That middle one.
Let me tell you about Scott Allen.
Oh boy.
I'll end the show right here on this. Tell you
All right.
a little story about Scott Allen. Scott Allen gets in this Pro 6 car last year. Or was it this year or last year?
Last year.
Oh, you know what he's talking about, man.
Last year, he gets in this Pro 6 car. Man, he was having his issues. I mean, he's brand new car, and he was learning. Finally gets up there and gets an outside pole. Wait a minute. You might want to take that back. He gets up there, and they come around to take the green flag.
Don't tell me you missed a shift.
No, he didn't miss the shift. He missed the pedals.
I jarred the brakes to the
You hit the brakes. Oh my god.
I think I still come
I
up.
think
to
at that
third.
point I'd rather miss the shift. Because if you miss the shift, you'll still be rolling.
Yeah.
You
He
hit the
wasn't
brakes,
rolling.
you're going back.
Well, thank God the 46 was behind me, so he just pushed me up and kept me going.
Oh yeah. How'd his hood look? I remember we had a big stack up down in Charlotte, so they weren't really playing games in the front. We're kids, we don't know how to play the games, but we're coming into the restart box. The pace car speeds up like he's gonna pull off, and then out of nowhere just smacks the brakes. Boom, 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 and I get dumped.
Oh, really?
And I'm facing backwards, and I'm like, "How did I get here?"
Dang.
And Dad's like, "I'm not sure what happened there, but we just got wrecked." I said,
No kidding.
yeah.
No kidding.
Smart one.
All
you
I
are.
saw was bang, bang, bang. I saw tire smoke, and then boom, oh, and we're spun. He's like,
Well, there's a
"Ah."
whole lot of Scott Allen stories I could tell you, but we need to go home before 12 o'clock tonight.
How far do y'all live from here?
I live about an hour and 15 minutes from here.
Hour 45.
Where you live at?
Powhatan.
Richmond.
I didn't know that. I thought you were from right around here.
Stupid. That's what I call it. That's what I call it.
Powhatan. Well, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
I told him, I said, I want to be here.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you came. I really
Thank you,
am.
and I appreciate y'all having me on.
And I know Mom has had to make a long trip down here today too. So
Oh, yeah.
we appreciate you doing that for him. Thank you very much.
Well, thank y'all for having me down here.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you. Thank you.
I thought about appreciating you, but
He's my hero.
who is?
What?
No, you didn't get out of that one. Got right back in it again.
Well, it's been fun.
All right, that's our show for tonight. Please keep Aiden Zedrich in your thoughts and prayers this week. I know he's getting ready to go off. I see his mom said that they'd keep up with us while they're in New Jersey. So let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. If you can help them out anyway, please do, because it's going to be hard to be away from home for that long, extended period of time.
Yeah,
So,
They've
absolutely.
got to go fund me, and any amount helps.
that's
It
right.
don't matter.
Accepting
It's a
cards and all kinds of stuff.
Yes, I got that. I put it on my Facebook. She sent to me the other day.
Don't matter if you send $1, 50 cents, penny. I know some. I think.
Yeah, every little bit helps.
Yeah. Someone said that on the show a week ago. Something like that about
Yeah.
Davey.
Yeah, so and then we got to give a shout out to Dave. We're thinking about you, buddy. Keep working. We're getting some little updates on him, and
Hopefully next week we can get Shane come back on the show. I don't know where he went to, but we really,
yeah, then we can hear about Shane went to the Shepard Center, which is down there where Dave's at, and it'd be neat to hear what Shane's experience was down at the Shepard Center.
So anyway, all right, that's our show for tonight. Thank you, share and like our shows, because that's what we grade our life on. We have no other life. No, I'm kidding. All right, see you next week.